Morning, everybody. We are live. I think we're live. Oh, why did my screen just go dark? Okay. Well, good morning. It's the last day of February, and we're in the greenhouses. There's beautiful flowers everywhere. There are cats everywhere. We're gonna have some fun this morning. We're gonna talk, and then we're gonna walk around and look at some plants because there's a lot going on here. So thanks for joining, and we have an action-packed show today because a lot has changed in the last couple of weeks. We got Sylvester the superstar here. He came out to join. So when he hears me talking in the greenhouses, he's ready to go. Yeah, we do have tomatoes. I will get to that here in a minute. So first things first, let's talk. So it's the last day of February. Our famous cat is here. We also just got, if you don't know why Sylvester's famous, he went famous on Twitter first. Good morning, y'all. And got like 8 million views on Twitter for catching a rat. And then he's just grown from there. He's been featured in news sites, global news sites. He now has his own line of merch. He's got a t-shirt. He's looking at the other cats that are around my feet. We just got restocked on the t-shirts, actually. So if you didn't get a Sylvester Tactical Assault Cat shirt, we got more in the store today. And then we'll have some youth sizes next week. He wants to get down and play with the other cats. So there's Poppy and Petunia. Anyway, we're live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And we've had a lot of people coming in to visit Sylvester now that he's a superstar. So if you haven't come in to visit him yet, he's very friendly and nice. All right, so what's going on today? It's the last day of February, which means spring is upon us. I'm sorry if someone's asking if we have catmint. I will check in a minute. I don't think we have it yet, but we'll have it soon, but I'll double check. I'm sorry if you live up north where it's not spring yet, but here in Texas, it's certainly feeling like spring. We usually say after the Home and Garden Show, which was last weekend, we are getting into spring as soon as that's over. So it's been 2 weeks since we've been live in the greenhouses, and a lot has changed. It's certainly feeling like spring. It's supposed to be high of 85 today. And so it's going to be really warm this afternoon. Yesterday it was warm. Tomorrow we've got a high of 84. There are no lows in the forecast below like 49. So yeah, we're in North Texas where it's almost 90s already, in Wichita Falls, Texas. But yeah, there's no lows in the forecast below like 49. So at this point, if you want to go ahead and get flowers out, yeah, go ahead and get flowers out. I'm not saying it's not going to freeze again because we very well could. We really should get another freeze. There's no guarantee of that. It would be very surprising if we don't get another freeze. I'll say that, but that doesn't mean you can't plant yet. So there's a lot that you can plant. Obviously, all of the trees and shrubs, all the perennials, those are all fine to plant now. Even if we get another freeze, it won't be an issue. A lot of our annuals that are here in the greenhouses can actually take a light freeze. So a lot of these that I'm going to show you today. What's going on? Cats are being crazy. A lot of the annuals I'm going to show you today can take a light freeze, no problem. Some of the annuals I'm going to show you cannot. So if you have, good morning, Nisha. If you're wanting to plant annuals that can't take a freeze right now, you still can. Just be prepared to get some frost cloth to cover them, or if they're in pots, be prepared to bring them inside. Someone says they can't find seeds for Walker's Low catmint. That doesn't surprise me. A lot of the newer hybrids are only available through plants because basically the growers buy up all the seeds. and then they are only available in plants. When a variety of catmint has been out, or any variety of plant has been out for a long time, and especially once the patent lapses, then you'll see the seeds become a lot more available. So I would have to see when the patent was. Will you quit? Crazy cats. I would have to see when the patent was filed for Walker's Low catmint, but for plants that are patented, that means that anybody that grows them, we do have some tomatoes, I'll show you here in a minute. Anybody that grows those patented plants has to pay a royalty on them. And so a plant patent will last for 20 years and then it lapses. So when a plant is first patented, that royalty makes it really expensive on a per plant or per seed basis. So that's why you typically will not find seeds for patented plant varieties, but the plants will be available because, you know, if you're having to pay a royalty of, sometimes plant royalties are 50 cents, sometimes they could be high as a couple of dollars per plant. And so if you could imagine how expensive it would make that seed packet if you're paying 50 cents per plant royalty per seed on that patented variety, then a seed packet price is just going to be out the roof. And so that's why most people are just going to opt to grow them and then sell them as a plant, because instead of, you know, you can absorb that royalty on a larger plant that you sell in a 1 gallon for $12, $15, a lot better than on the seed. So that's kind of how that works. And then whenever plant patents lapse after 20 years, that royalty goes away. You can propagate those plants as much as you want. You know, so some of your older plants, like this is a sweet potato blackie. And this is one, I forget, it's called Blackjack Blackie. It's one of the old varieties of sweet potato. And this one, the plant patent has lapsed. So we can legally take cuttings off of this and sell them without paying royalties. And then the same thing goes for a lot of your seed varieties. You won't really find the seeds for named varieties of plants until those patents lapse. Hopefully that makes sense. There were some other questions. If I miss your questions, you could say them again, because sometimes, like, I'm looking at 3 different phone screens right now. So I'm looking at TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I got comments coming in from all over. But if I miss your question and don't address it, I'm sorry. I probably just didn't see it on the screen. So you might ask again if I didn't address it, and I'll try to see it. Or maybe someone in the comments will let me know. All right, we're gonna walk around. Oh, a couple other things. We have a rose seminar today, but it is sold out, which is great, but also not good if you are wanting to attend and you haven't signed up yet. So we opened up 50 spots for it and it is tapped out. I guess I should have done a second session. You never know with these classes, like how popular they're gonna be. So the rose seminar was very popular. We're gonna have to do it again, but I don't have a date set for when we'll be able to do it again. It may not be till next spring. Someone's asking, how much did your greenhouse cost to build? You don't want to know, because it's a lot. And this is just part of it. But anyway, the rose seminars this afternoon, it's sold out. It's going to be fun. Tomorrow we have a Bluebonnet paint and sip. So this is a kids activity, $5 tomorrow per kid, where they're going to get a fun, be able to finger paint Bluebonnets. And this is leading up to Texas Independence Day, which is next week. So that's a fun one, and it's come and go tomorrow, anytime between 12 and 4. So if you want to bring the kids out and do a fun finger painting activity and then do all the other fun stuff here, that's tomorrow. All right, so that's enough talking. Let me flip these cameras around. And then Nisha says, send everyone to my house for hands-on rose pruning training. That's funny. She will, you know, there's like a whole thing about that. Like, how can you get people to pay you for doing labor on your farm? And there's a lot of people doing it. So if you ever go to those You Pick Strawberries, I'm turning around on all these phones. If if you ever go to those You Pick strawberry places or You Pick raspberries or whatever it is, you're basically doing farm labor and you're paying to do it. And to me, that's genius. How they convince people to not only do the labor for them, but pay to do the labor for them. All right, so let's look at some pretty plants. Tracy is excited to be at the Rose Seminar today. You're one of the lucky ones that made it, because there's a lot of people that didn't make it in. All right, so here's what we got going on. Where do we start? So starting with over here, I guess, since I'm already here, petunias. We got petunias everywhere. Now the reason why we have petunias everywhere, good morning, Tony, is because petunias are a great early season plant. So they can take a light frost, which is why they're one of the first flowers that we put out in the spring. So you can plant these in the ground now, no worries. If we do get another freeze, then it's not going to be a problem. And we have a lot of the easy wave petunias, or also known as wave petunias, in stock right now. And these are the spreading petunias that are also pretty heat tolerant. So we sell a lot of wave petunias. Oh no, we have one that's followed. So these are great for landscape because they take up a lot of room in the landscape in your beds. These purple ones are fragrant as well. And they have some heat tolerance, so they last longer into the summer than most of your other petunias, even here in North Texas. I don't know what the cats are doing. I'll show you some more petunias here in a minute. We did have people asking about tomatoes. I have some varieties up now, and I have more coming. So there are, what do we have here? We've got more planted as well. This one's Little Napoli, which is a determinate tomato, dwarf tomato, kind of a Roma style, but smaller. We got Celebrity, which is my personal favorite slicing tomato for North Texas. These are interesting. These are cucumbers, but this is a potapino. No, sorry. Those are potapino pepper plants. This is, hey, Sylvester. This is cucumber quick snack, and it is a self-pollinating cucumber, so you don't have to have two plants. It just does its own thing. It has both male and female flowers combined. So a lot of cucumbers have separate male and female flowers, but this one is all the same. And it's a dwarf cucumber plant, and it only grows to be about 3 feet tall, and it makes little snacking cucumbers that are only like 3 inches long, and they're tasty. So that's a fun one that you can grow in a smaller pot. You know, if you've grown cucumbers in the past that have just gone crazy and gotten huge, that's the advantage of this one. And then along those same lines, we have some super dwarf tomato varieties. They're called the Kitchen Mini series. And so they can be grown in a very small pot. You can see how small this plant is, and it's already loaded up with flowers. They make little cherry tomatoes, little snacking tomatoes, and they'll make a few hundred of them on a very small plant that can be grown even indoors, which is cool. Doesn't need a tomato cage or anything like that. We do have some strawberry plants over there available in both 6-packs and 4-inch. I've got some herbs available over there. I don't have our full line of veggies out yet, but we got some. See what else we got. This is a cool new Rex Begonia series called the Space Star series. And they're Rex Begonias that can be grown, you know, most Rex Begonias are grown as houseplants, which these can be grown as a houseplant, but they're also good landscape performers. So if you have a shady spot in the yard, mostly shady spot in the yard, that new Space Stars Rex begonias, they have several different colors. They're a cool one for containers or the landscape. Now I've got a couple of flowers here that are good for early color, not great for summer heat. So don't expect to buy these two and for them to look good all summer. These are early season plant that are gonna look good for you now. And then as it starts to heat up, you can replace it with your more heat tolerant varieties. So calendula, it looks like a zinnia, but it is not a zinnia. That's a calendula. And then Dioecia. Dioecia is a trailing, spreading plant. That's really nice. Almost looks like Angelonia, except it's more trailing and spreading. They can be used in hanging baskets or the landscape, but early season color. And then once it gets hot, they kind of fizzle out and you pop something else in their place. We do have, we still have some snapdragons, pansies, violas, which are still on sale for $10 a flat. We just got the last of those that we are moving through as we make room for more of our spring plants. Here are more petunias. And we have our first coleus up in the greenhouse, which coleus are quick sellers. Now, typically we're not putting coleus out this early, but with the weather, the way that it is this spring, we decided to go ahead and bring some up. Look at the colors on these. Now, coleus is not a cold, hardy plant. It will not take a freeze, not even a light freeze. So you do have to watch this. If you are wanting to plant coleus now, you can go ahead and buy it now, but just be prepared to cover it or bring it indoors if we do dip down to below freezing again. But we got them out here for you. And there are so many cool varieties. And this is just the start. We've got more coleus coming. A bunch of different colors are going to be available this year. This one is stunning. Look at that. They all are. They're fun to mix together too. Back across the aisle we go. We're also going to be bringing out geraniums today. What time is it? I don't really have time to go back in the back to show you. But we will be bringing up some geraniums. Oh yeah, next Saturday, we've got another seminar coming up for how to landscape in the shade. Essentially what we're going to be focusing on are those areas where you've got trees and it's too shady to grow grass. A lot of people have that area in their yard where they've just struggled to try to get grass growing there, but it's just too shaded. So what to do with those shady spots in the landscape. And so that class is coming up next weekend on Saturday. You can sign up on our website or over the phone once we open this morning. Beautiful petunias over there. We're starting to bring up some hanging baskets as well, and there are a lot more coming. I think we're growing upwards of 10,000 hanging baskets this year. It's kind of last call for onions and potatoes as well. So if you're wanting to get potatoes and onions in the ground, definitely get those planted as soon as possible so that you can get those growing. Now this has become one of our favorites for us and our customers. Now don't get political on me, but this plant is called Bidens, or some people pronounce it Bidens, Bidens. And it has nothing to do with anyone that has that name. That's just the name of the plant. They come in white and yellow. They are a cheerful little flower, and they're one of the first ones to bloom in the spring, but they also have good heat tolerance. So that's what's cool about these. Hey, we got some ornamental peppers as well. Those are pretty. And then we have Calibrachoa, Calibrachoa are like mini petunias. Starting to bring those up. Very popular. They have more heat tolerance than the petunias do. And they're great in landscape or hanging baskets. And we got those up here as well. Okay, let me walk quickly. I want to show you a few things in the perennial house because it's starting to look really good in there as well. And then we'll have to head to, well, I'll have to head to our staff meeting. We got some bougainvilleas in this week. And they're starting to bloom. Okay, let me set this down a second while I get this door open so that we can check out perennials we got in here. So a lot of cool perennials going on. Of course, we got some hardy Texas natives over here on our Texas native table. We're starting to see some salvias blooming. These are there's so many plants labeled salvia. These are perennials. So Salvia greggii, Salvia, there's a bunch of them. And my brain's not working yet. I made a video about this last night. This is Candy Tuft, blooming over here, also known as Iberis. Beautiful white, but also there's a pink that's about to start blooming. We got some Salvia greggii, another salvia, which is the autumn sage. Great heat tolerant hummingbird attracting plant. Got some fun perennial Tradescantias over here as well. So we got the purple heart. We got this fuzzy Tradescantia. This one may or may not be perennial. I'm not sure about the fuzzy one. I know that the purple heart is perennial, and I know that this green one is perennial. The fuzzy one, maybe want to use it as a house plant, but you could try it in the landscape as well. I don't know what's going on with my voice this morning, but I have a lot more talking to do today. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. I gotta head inside soon for our Saturday morning staff meeting, but I want to show you, these are perennial Gerber daisies, the Garvinia Gerber daisies. Great landscape performers. They bloom a lot more than your older Gerbers used to. Some pretty Artemisia here. What's this? Ornamental onion. Those are cool. Those will be blooming soon. And check out the heucheras or coral bells are looking so nice. Look at the colors there. It's a great shade perennial for shade color. Got some creeping phlox in bloom. And I've got Ajuga blooming. Ajuga is a nice perennial ground cover. Now, Ajuga can be invasive in certain parts of the country, so don't get mad at me if you are not an Ajuga fan. It is not a problem here in North Texas. It does not escape into the wild here in North Texas. So it works really well here. But yeah, lots of fun stuff going on in perennials and a lot more to come. So if you're wanting to get out and enjoy this warm weather this week, there are lots of opportunities to do so. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, and we should be busy here. But The big thing is you always hear so many people say you can't plant anything till after Easter. That's kind of, now if you live somewhere north, it's later than that. But here in North Texas, that's what everybody says. You can't plant anything till after Easter because we always get a freeze. So I talked about it at the beginning of the video. Most of these plants are fine with a freeze. And for the few that are not, like coleus, just be prepared to cover them with frost cloth or to bring them inside if necessary. Oh, they've made some nice petunia patio pots as well. Look good. And we still have some cool season veggies as well. Oh, and plumbago. Nice little shrubby. We treat them as an annual here. Plumbagos. Down south, they grow them as shrubs. This pretty blue color, the plumbago blooms. All right, well, we're going to head into our staff meeting. We got a lot to talk about today, but I hope to see you today in the store. And hope you get to work out in your yard this weekend. And next week is spring break. So maybe you get to get a lot of gardening done for spring break. But thanks for joining this morning. Hope to see you soon.